All right, folks, here we are for another Off the Grid session. Hey, I wanted to welcome music producer Beatahoe. Hey, brother, thank you for joining me today. How's it going out there?
Hey man, thank you for having me on your fabulous podcast. It's pretty nice out here. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, man. We can't complain out in Hawaii, man. The weather's always good, so it's
Yeah.
good, man. You guys still a little bit cold out there?
Yeah, it's pretty cold, man. I remember reading that the Grouch was in Hawaii for a while. You know the guy from the Living Legends?
Yeah. He lives in on another island. Yeah, but I heard he goes back and forth between Cali. So
That's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, good for him, man. Well, hey, man, let's start with just a quick introduction of yourself. Tell us where you were born, where exactly you call home these days, and how long you've been making music.
I was born in a city called Sept-Îles. It's 12 hours away from Montreal
Okay.
in the province of Quebec, and so I'm Canadian. And I've been making music for a while. You know, I must be pushing the 10 years, but I was never like I always had other things that I had to do. So it stays on my mind. But sometimes sometimes I'll do a 2 or 3 years where I'm just ghost. You know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but it stays up here though. You know, like I can't seem to like find ways to. It stays in the obsessions. You know, it's one of my obsessions, music production.
yeah. Has it always been production, or did you try rapping too as well?
Uh, I tried when I used to go to university. I tried to rap, but I was just the worst guy. Like I would just do like drunken ciphers, and I would do like the
Yeah,
same drunken slurry freestyle, and people would just look at me like, "What are you doing here?" You know, like I knew right away that I would never be a rapper because I don't have like the skill set. You know, right away. I remember like I'd be around people who were rapping, and I was never interested enough to like try. You
yeah,
know. And when I would do it drunkenly, it was so bad that it was like, it's like there was no use for me to, you know, to continue on.
man. I'm sure if you stuck with it, you would have been dope. But looks like you found your passion in making music, man. So beat producing was your thing, and so how was that process like, man? Was it did you have someone that taught you how to do it, or did you learn from scratch?
My process was I started like I'm a fortunate human, so my parents, they helped me out a lot, and I started by scratching. I was a DJ first,
Oh,
but
crazy. Go.
yeah, and I used to try to be like a club DJ, but I was like putting on like just like I was the music I was playing it did not correspond to a dance floor, you know. So
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
yeah. So I was more like I don't know that the whole the club thing really didn't work out for me, but the scratching did because I spent mad years just scratching and
Okay.
I love scratching. That was my introduction was just like the scratching, you know, and I got lost in that for a few years, you know, and then when
Nice.
I went to university, when I graduated, my father bought me a box. He said, "Here's your gift," and it was an MC Roland 909. It was a sampler and a drum machine, and
Wild, man.
that's what forced my hand because never would I have bought a sampler. I was just not interested in that at all. And since that day, it just kind of became. I always would bring that machine with me everywhere I would go, and it would be like a energy portal kind of thing where if I'd have like a spark, I'd turn it on.
Yeah.
You know, it would be like a just there around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and for the scratching stuff, so for the songs that you do, then is that you also scratching
Man,
when there's scratch present on that, or
I
do you
wish
think
it
that's
was.
someone else?
Yeah, I wish it was, but I've been fortunate to like work with DJs, and now like my scratching is zero. Like I don't, my whole obsession like became the production. So now
I
like
see.
the turntables I haven't scratched in years. You know, like it just
Yeah.
kind of went to production. You know.
Ah, hear that. Well, good, man. So, hey, man, it's nice that your parents, got you into the art of making music. And so, what kind of music were they playing in the house when you were growing up?
Oh man, my father is a studio musician, and he's also a composer. So he would
Oh, oh,
Yeah, so he would play a lot of music for the band that he was composing for. It was called. It's an Aboriginal music group in Canada. It's called Cashton, and
Nice.
yeah, so he'd be playing a lot of Aboriginal music in the house, you know.
Oh, super cool, man. So you started music at quite a young age, just being exposed to it. And so when did that move to hip hop or the introduction to rap happen? Who were you introduced to?
Oh man, everything started when I heard an E40 song, man. Like
Oh, you already dope, man.
yo, man,
Oh,
that was like,
nice.
even to this day, I love everything he does. But like to me, like when I like it's like the earlier albums, like the Charlie Hustle and stuff like that. That
Yeah.
that blew my mind, man. Like just like the beats, like the Mike Mosley beats, Sam Bostic. That blew my mind, man. Like those beats, like those heavy bass lines, and that was like a slap in the face, man. I remember, like I'm from a small mining city where there's no gangsters. It's like it's like it's just nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
when I heard that, just especially with the covers, like like the Master P covers, or like the covers of that era were really like dope. And it's like I remember seeing
Yeah, yeah, and
E40,
the
like
art.
yeah, and just like it was really E40 that really and then after that it was all like Brother Lynch Hung, and like like all like the West Coast, like the mob, like like the mob
Yeah.
era. Yeah, like oh man, I love, like for me it was like E40 like is amazing, man, but like the beats, like like the beats really hit me, like the way they would be like codeine, like a little slower, and even to this day, like I do a lot more like my production is slowly going towards that, because I love
Nice.
synth beats. I always love synth beats. Like I love all kinds of beats, but like the beats from that era, like they'll always make me shake my head, because it's just so dope. That was Mike Mosley and Sam Bostic. Those they were heavy in the beginnings of E40. Those two
Yeah,
producers.
and I really, I was smiling earlier because it's all West Coast MCs that you named. I'm from the West Coast and have a love for Bay Area music, so I just find that fascinating that you were all the way in Canada, and then it was the West Coast rap that you heard first, right? Because you're real close to Canada, or I'm sorry, to New York, and it would have been naturally just it would have made sense to me for you to hear all that stuff first. But I love how it was E40, man. That's great, dude.
Yeah, because both hit me hard too. Because I remember LP and Company Flow, and like that
Yeah,
that hit me hard too. That was another slap in the face, but it just came afterwards, because in those days it was all about digging and finding new interesting music, and
that's
like
right.
on the East Coast it was like Boot Camp, LP, all these Vast Air, all these things that the nonfiction, Ill Bill, Necro, like it was all discoveries too. That was like wow, like what is
Yeah,
this? And it really inspires me to this day too.
yeah,
Everything
yeah.
inspires
Every
me.
every city's got an amazing pocket. Even Canada too's got a lot of dope MCs too as well. And
Yeah.
man, it just yeah, it was a good time for music. Hey, outside of rap, what do you listen to? You listen to anything else aside from rap?
I like emotional music,
Okay,
like pop, to make it in my whip, it has I don't have anything other than rap that makes it to the whip, because I don't have like any CDs, right, of like other things that I listen to. But I really
yep,
like man, I like all kinds of things, man. It's just I like the I don't want to say rebel, but I like stuff that stands out a bit, that's a little sequenced differently, and like
okay,
just like I honestly feel like everything inspires me. It's just this stuff that I can't listen to, like punk rock and stuff like that. I can't really listen to that stuff. It's like too aggressive. And
okay.
I like pop music, man. But depending on which, because a lot of pop music for me is really whack too. But I like synth based music.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that's the beautiful thing, man. Just so much different kind of music, man.
Yeah.
And so nowadays though, who are your favorite rappers? Who are you digging on the mic?
Oh man, there's so many, man. But
Yeah.
like there's so
that's
many.
that's a
Yeah.
hard question to answer,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I'll always be like a sucker for E40, Cool Keith,
Nice.
yeah, Brother Lynch Hung.
Nice.
I always listen to Brother Lynch Hung.
Man, I love that. Oh, I love that you shout out Brother Lin Chung. That's great.
Oh man, I know all his albums, man. Like trust me, it's like even like sometimes it's so like negative that I won't listen to it, because I know it's just gonna give me those like murder thoughts, and all this and that. But it's like I'm a sucker though. Like I'll listen to it like regardless, 'cause it's like it kind of brings you into, like, it vacuums you into like like
A
a really
ton, right?
negative place, you know.
No, I hear that, man, and it's not necessarily the context, but just the way that the music's put together.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, and so you mentioned Cool Keith too, and I know you have some production under your belt, a Box Cut album too. That has to be an awesome achievement, man. I'm sure that's got
Oh
you
man,
feeling
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Box Cuts is a human living legend, man. So I feel so blessed. I've worked with the man. You know, he has like he's incredible, man, with the art and with the rapping. You know, he's just an incredible person. You know.
yeah, good dude, man. And so, as a producer, though, who are your favorite producers? Who were influential at the start of your career? You mentioned the two from E40's early days. Anybody else that you really looked up to when you started learning how to make beats?
Oh man, there's so many, but I'd have to say Daz Dillinger.
Oh, great one. Oh,
Yeah,
that
I'd
one I
have
don't
to,
hear. I
yeah,
haven't
I'd
heard
have
that in a while. Oh, great answer.
that guy
Yeah, yeah.
is the number one dude, man. Like his catalog is
Dog
just
pound.
like
Woo.
yeah. I'd have to say I have so many influences, but RZA for me was like a
Yeah,
huge influence because RZA it's like all the people who influenced me are it's all the rebels. It's all the people who didn't copy or duplicate.
yeah.
They were just like strong headed rebel people and they managed to make their own their own wave. So it's like RZA for me is a definite like everything that guy does. RZA for me is like 100,000. You know, Alchemist. I've never heard a
Yeah.
whack Alchemist beat, man. Like that guy is like to me is like he's
That's
like the golden
interesting.
child of Alchemist is the one man. And it's like there's so many ill producers. Like I really like Beat Butcher. Like I really like Dr. Drake, DJ Muggs. You know all those the I really like Madlib. Yo, that guy is crazy. Madlib with the joints, man, is like
Yeah.
he's so talented, Madlib. He's just like he's the one, you know, like it's so just every time you hear like a Madlib beat, it's like it's never a miss, you know. And oh no, I love his younger brother's beats too. Crazy
Oh, man.
production, man. And LP, I love LP's production. LP from Company
Yeah.
Flow. And there's so many, man. Like, I like Rick Ross, not Rick Ross, but Rick, the guy from the Bay Area, Rick. I can't remember forgetting his name. He's so crazy. Like with the synth joints, he's crazy, man.
Okay.
Rick Ross.
Yeah, you named just an amazing list of producers, man. Gaz too, man. That was a good one, man. His first the dog food album. Oh my
Oh
gosh, man.
man, that's
Just
crazy, man. DJ
yeah.
Quick too. I love DJ Quick. DJ Quick is amazing, man, and DJ Pooh and DJ Quick. So many
Okay.
talented people, you know.
Yeah. As far as like any of the younger producers nowadays that you like too as well.
Yeah,
Is
man.
there
You know
anybody
what?
watching?
Yeah, I really like there's one guy I really like, man. His name is fuck. He's like oh man, I can't even. I'm so bad with memory, man. But I'm sure you're aware of him. Anyway, sorry, I have a really blank. But that guy is.
No, that's okay.
I don't really
Yeah.
like the drumless guys because I feel like it's just like a loop, you know. So I'm not really checking that, you know. I understand it's like a vibe, so I understand like how dope it is with the whole presentation, but I'm not really checking out like the younger like the drumless guys because I don't really see it as like like a like a how can I say like a like a solid beats, you know.
And do you recall when you first started making beats, what that moment was that you were like, I'm gonna start making beats? Do you recall that
Yeah,
day?
yeah, I do. It was when my father bought me that machine, and like I didn't really have the book or the brochure. I think I did
Yep.
it, but I think I threw it out or whatever. And it's like the first time that I put like sounds together, I'll
Uh-huh.
always remember those beats, and I think they might have been my best beats. You know, they didn't. I got it stolen. They, I never got to use them, but it was like just like the of like combining sounds. That's when I knew that it really interested me. You know, like just to be like just to, like combining sounds. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a difficult thing to do. So I really admire you guys who are able to produce beats. And so what kind of programs or equipment are you using today?
Right now, so 2 years ago, I sold all my gear. I had an MPC, I had a bunch of synths. I sold it all because I felt like my sound was getting very repetitive. So I wanted to
Okay.
have like a Genesis moment where I would have nothing, you know. So it's like that was 2 years ago. Now I just bought a new sampler. I'm gonna have it in 2 weeks. It's in the Roland MV 8000. because I'm more of an analog guy. You know, like I can't really like right now I'm working on a project with some guys, and it's like I'm doing it on Pro Tools and my computer without any
Wow.
gear, and it's like it's devastating because it's like it's giving me headaches, like because you really have to sit down for like 6 hours, and I can do it on the MPC because it's like a small screen, right? But with the computer, it's like it just scrambles up my brain waves, But like so, I'm more of an analog guy, so I'm just trying to combine everything together.
I see.
Yeah,
Oh man. Okay. Well, yeah. Hey, man, what a major upgrade. And so that's awesome, man. You wanted to start from ground zero and just kind of build yourself up. So
yeah.
interesting, man. I love everybody's different processes. Well, hey, man, this is a question I love to ask everybody. When I interview them. But what's the story behind your name? How did you get that?
Man, I was dating a girl, maybe like maybe 10 years ago, 8 years, 7 years, I forget, and she was making a scene in front of the. I was living in an apartment complex, and I was upstairs, and she was like ringing the bell, making a scene, screaming, and I was at the time I was in my apartment, and I actually had a little studio with my friend who used to live with me, and he used to lace my beats with keyboard sounds because I don't have like the gangster fingers, like I don't play. I play like I just play notes, but I don't have like the. And my friend had like the had that, and he was with me, and he looked at me and he just said, "Yo, Beatahoe," and it was like I was like, "What do you mean?" Like I didn't understand what he was saying, but he said that it was like a joke, because he knows me. I'm not the one who's gonna like slap some, that's not in my DNA, that's not
Right, right.
me. But like the word though, when he said it, it just shocked me because I never heard that before, beat a hoe. And then
Yeah.
a few weeks later, I was working on the release with some guys. I still didn't have a name. I had given up on finding a name because I didn't know what to call myself, and I was like, it was kind of like a joke. I said the guys asked me a name, I said Beto, and then after that, I worked with I was lucky. I worked with Gore-Tex from Nonfiction after that, and he asked me, what my name was, because he and
Oh my God.
yeah, and I was like, it's Beatahoe, and after that, it just stuck after that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to leave after you establish yourself, right? Working with some great people. That's
Yeah,
funny, man.
yeah.
No, and so with that, hey, how is the music scene in your neck of the woods? So you said are you Montreal area, or are you actually in Quebec?
Yeah, I'm in the province of Quebec, but I'm about 6 hours away from Montreal right now. So where I
Okay.
live is just nothingness, like nothing, like nothing.
Ah,
In Montreal, it's like blowing up though. There's a lot of people in Montreal that are blowing up right now. So there's like Mike Shab, Nicholas Craven. Then there's like all the
okay.
label guys. There's like labels that are really starting to bubble up and make like like blowing up artists. And it's really like transitioning right now. It's like becoming like people are actually starting to make loot. So it's like it's interesting. It's like
Yeah,
bubbling. It's like something's happening right now. It's like
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was out there maybe I can't remember, maybe a couple of months ago. Montreal, went to go visit some family. We started in Toronto and then flew out to Montreal. That was great, man. I had a great time in Canada, man.
Nice,
Just a
man.
cool place, man. Yeah, how often do you come over to our side?
Oh man, it's rare. Like me and my wife, we like to take trips, but we always go abroad. We don't go too much, but we try to go once
Yep.
twice a year. But now we always this year we're going to go to Florida actually in October. So
Nice.
yeah, we're going to
Okay.
test it out. Yeah,
Is that a Disney World trip or just
yeah, it's gonna be
everything
yeah, it's gonna
Florida?
be we're going to include Disney World, man. I've never been. Have you been?
Yeah, that was yeah, maybe last year or something like that. Yeah.
Nice,
So
man.
yeah, it's good, man. I can only do those parks for like a day, so I'm not one of those guys that I can't do like 4 days in a row, but gotta try it once, right?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm like you, man, because I don't think I can manage more than a day too, because like it's too much going on.
Yeah, that's right. Well, good, man. That sounds like a fun trip. I'm excited to hear all about it, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right, man. So you've been in the game over 10 years, man. Now that you're sitting back, you're in a comfortable pace, and you got your sound. How would you describe your sound if somebody asked you what kind of beats do you make? What's the best way to describe it?
That's a really good question, man, because it's like nobody in my immediate family people know I do music production, but like nobody knows, like, because like first of all, I'm not famous, but I mean, like nobody at my work knows, or like people, my friends, they don't know I do this because I don't really share, you know what I'm saying, like with the people I talk with. But if they were to ask me, I think I would say evolving, because like
Okay.
music production really bores me when I do like this. Like I, thankfully I never hit a decent lick yet, so it's like I'm not stuck making the same kind of thing, So I think that
Yep.
was a good thing. So I can try all kinds of things, and that's really what I'm doing all the time. I'm just trying to, like, once I do a project, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do like this genre anymore. I want to do something, but it's like it stays hip hop, but I'm in the sense I don't want to do like, okay, I just did a boom bap EP. Let's say, okay, well, I don't want to do another boom bap. How about
Right.
I try to do like a rolling synth EP. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm always just trying to see, because I need to be like a. It has to like really touch me what I'm doing, or else I can't do it. I can't work on stuff that I don't enjoy listening to. So I'd say that my style would be described as being an evolving style.
Man,
Because
I like
everything,
that,
yeah, I want
man.
to do everything, man. I want to do pop stuff. I want to do hip hop stuff. I want to do sad stuff. I want to do all kinds of things. But I just have to enjoy what I'm doing, though.
Hey, I like that, man. Never settled for just one style, man. Got to try
Uh,
everything. That's great.
Too
Well,
boring,
hey, man, I want to dive into some of the music that you've done, man. So you have had the fortune to do some work with Label S before he passed away, another talented brother, man. And so, yeah, how was that connection made? How did you guys meet?
Man. I wish I could have told you like that I knew him really well, because I didn't. I just knew him professionally, and
Yep,
I hooked up with him because I worked with Jack Progresso and Box Guts, and they were
yep,
all on the same crew. And I reached out to the label and I said, "Listen, I work with your label mates. You want to do something with me?" And he was like very open minded, and we did two projects, and he was
yeah.
just, man, that guy was just like he was just so passionate that he's the type of guy that would send you something and be like, he would send you like a reference, and then like 20 minutes later, he'd be like, no, 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 erase that. No, I'm already on the next reference, And those are like for me, those are the passionate ones, because the lazy ones, they'll do something and they won't. I don't want to say lazy, because sometimes you can have that magic and you can do something in 5 minutes and it's perfect, But I'm saying, but for every song that somebody makes in 5 minutes that's perfect, there's like a million songs that people have worked on post production, and have like tried to like make better. And
Right.
he was
Right.
one of those guys, and he was just so funny, because it's like at the end he reminds me of me, because he was very obsessed with his music, and sometimes like you go on a tangent, when you're too obsessed with it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like he was really like, yo, I gotta change this, and he was very like passionate, and sometimes like I'm like that as well, but sometimes you have to learn to step back a bit and breathe a bit, because it's like it's too it gets to a point where it's like very obsessive. But to his defense, though, he was that guy was just like I think he's one of the best people I've worked with, because he was
Nice.
so interesting as a rapper. Like, man, I wish he was still here and that we can make more music, because he was definitely like one of the illest people I got to work with for sure.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to meet him in person or just was everything online?
It
Yeah,
was
you
everything
guys are pretty
online,
far apart.
but we did a lot of FaceTimes, and he was a very discreet guy too, and I got
Okay.
to talk to him like a few FaceTimes, and man,
Nice.
he was a really cool dude, man. To be honest with you, like he was a really nice guy. He was just nice guy, man.
I was telling Box Guts, man, the song that you guys did, 1,000 Tanks, for I think it's probably Hot Breath Boy 8, but
Yeah,
woo, man, that is my jam, man. I love that beat that you did for that song, and
thanks a
yeah,
lot, man.
hey, man, yeah, much love for that, man. You also got a nice little resume of music that you work with some amazing people. I want to talk about a single that you did uh, called "Life Is a Struggle," and that was with Chromatose and Mad Child. And so, how did that happen? I know I saw that you mentioned that you did like the beat, but I thought the beat was hot, man. So, hey, how did that song happen?
Yeah, what happened is that this guy that I was working with, he was a very nice guy. I think he's in the army now. I forget what his rapper name was. He was a very standout guy, and he actually like paid Mad Child to get on that beat, and I had
Okay.
sent him a few joints, and I remember when he emailed me, he's like, yo, I got Mad Child. I was like, please tell me it's not that piano beat, I was like, please tell me it's not, and he was like, it's the piano beat. I was like, oh, because I didn't have
Of course, yeah.
yeah, I didn't have the stems anymore, because I lost the computer, and I hated that beat. I was like, oh, and then it's like, so what was his name? Mike something. Anyway, so So I just like he was dope. He's a really dope artist. You know, he's crazy with it. But I wasn't really feeling like the verse because of like the verse
Yeah.
was fire, but there's like the aesthetics were like off a bit. You know, like it just sounded a little too muddy. You know,
Okay.
so I just took off his verse and I kept the Comatose and the Mad Child, and I pushed it as a single. But I never got a chance to speak with Mad Child or anything. Like that guy is like a superstar, like a Canadian superstar. He lays the hook on that beat, and
Yeah.
that's really when I
Yeah.
started to like understand, you know, like the politics. It's like at this point, you could just if you send somebody 5 6 stacks, you know, they'll rap over your beat, you know, and
Yeah.
it kind of threw me off because I was like, you know, if it just threw me off because it's like it's so easy. I can just like if I have 10,000 right now, I can just send it to like you know whoever, and I could do like this tiny little loop and he'll rap over it. So it won't give me any like it won't like it won't do anything for me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not gonna like touch me in any other way, you know. It's like a business, you know, and that's normal. I understand that. It's like you know, I understand that stuff, you know. It
That's
makes sense.
right. Yeah. So yeah, that's actually interesting that you mentioned that too, and that like became obvious to me too as well. That because they got to people got to make a living somehow, right?
Yeah,
And so yeah, so it's yeah, all sides of the spectrum. But hey, man, you're really established too with just the French, or I would say more Canadian and French rappers. That I've heard a lot of tracks that you did. With the Rain Man, you had that single, and then Frenchy Blanco, and so that too is another interesting part of your collection. I love that, man. How often do you work with a lot of these French Canadian rappers?
man. I was honestly, I was blessed, man, because like these guys, they didn't know me, and they hopped on joints, and I was really blessed. I was very very lucky, you know. So like excuse me, like people like Rain Man, those guys are like legends of legends in Quebec and Canada. You
Yeah,
know, like they've toured in France and had like these guys, and they used my joint as a single on their last album. They haven't made an album in like 6 years, I think, so it was on their last album, and I just
oh,
felt really lucky. I
incredible.
just felt really lucky, yeah. And you know, it's just I'm just blessed because I got to work with a lot of Quebec and Canadian legends, just like out of like just out of like luckness, I guess, you know, because it's like I work with Frenchy Blanco, is like a major legend. He worked with a lot of guys from Wu Tang, and it's like he's like a major dude in the scene, you know. And I
Yeah,
got to do like produce an entire EP for him, and there's like a lot of other artists as well in Quebec that I just got a chance to work with, and
that's so dope, man.
and, and
Did you
then
just did you send them an email, or how did you
yeah.
connect with those guys?
For the Rain Man, what happened is because when I started making beats for the first few years, I was a lot hungrier. You know, I was a lot more like sending stuff and you know like trying to work with people. You know, and as I get older, I realize that it's not a good method because you have to find the energy and you have to
That's
like
yeah,
you have to talk with people because you can reach all you want, but if you don't know where this guy's at, it's just going to be a waste of energy. You know.
sure.
And when I was younger, like I used to email everybody, and a lot of people just didn't respond, which I understand. But it's like by being lucky, like legends like this guy would because it's like bottom line. There's some evil people and there's some cool people. If
Yeah,
you email somebody and you're offering production, you know, like some people are just nice people and they're curious. You know, like you know, I'll listen to a beat. How long does it take to listen to a beat? You know, it's like virtually
quick.
like 2 minutes. You know, and I just got lucky with these with Rain Man. I sent them one beat, and it's like they were like, "We're using it for an album." And I was like, "That was my first. That was my first.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
that was my first and last placement, like on a real CD. Like I never had another placement since.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, because I was like, I remember when I got the placement, and they paid me. And I remember it took about a year to get like it was like a really small check. It was nothing worth talking about, whatever. But they were like their album was like helped by the state, so it's like I got like double the amount that we were supposed to get, which was
nice.
still like a small amount, nothing worth bragging about, but still it took a year to get that check. So I just remember I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna chase like checks. I need to, I can't do this. I'm not gonna wait. It's not gonna take a year to, it didn't make sense to me like financially. So I
Yeah,
I I stayed making beats and I stayed working, but I just completely forgot about making money. It's like I work like I'm
yeah.
a working man, so it's like Yeah, and that I think that helped me as well because I never really cared, you know. It's like that doesn't like of course I'm not stupid, I'll accept it. Like people pay me every once in a while, but I'm not looking for the check, you know. I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
I want to make something that's memorable. That's really what my goal is, and it's
that's
hard
it.
because music is saturated right now. There's a lot of dope music, there's a lot of, you know, so it's like it's hard to make something memorable. So that's my main
Yeah,
aim, you know. That's what I'm trying to do. So
yeah.
you
I think your story though, man, it brings out a good message though, right? So if people are looking for placement or just looking to work with people, and there's nothing wrong with that, but just a simple email that you did and just going out there and getting after it, you never know what opportunities will come if you don't try. So
know,
whether you choose to do it or not, I think that's awesome that you got after it and got that through just a simple message. So that's quite fascinating. Thank you for sharing that.
thank you, man.
Yeah. Well, hey man, we talked about this man earlier, and I interviewed him a couple weeks ago too. Box Guts, you got a couple albums with that dope MC man, good guy man, really humble. But how was that connection made between you and Box Guts?
Yo, Box Cuts is like he's like the mystery man, you know, like he's so talented, you know, and I feel so blessed to work with him. And what happened is that I made a joint after I worked with Rain Man. I got lucky again. Another email. I wrote an email to Gore-Tex, sent him one beat, and he's like, "Yo, this beat is gonna be on my album. Send me the stems or whatever." And I was like, you know, yeah.
That's so
That's why
awesome, man.
sometimes like I realize that like my best like my strongest work was stuff that was made fast. So it's like I understand that you can get lucky, you can make a few beats really fast, and you can hit too, you know. So it's like timing has nothing
Yeah,
to do with it. It's just like energy, you know. And so I sent the beat
yeah.
with, and then when I was working with Gore on his album, and I had one joint on his album, and he told me he introduced me to Jack Progresso, and
That's
so
so awesome.
he kind of Jack Progresso is like a really talented music producer. So he didn't need to like make beats with he already has his own production. But Gore kind of like said, you know, I want you to talk with this guy, and
Yeah.
I want you guys to do a project. And they fell out. Those two fell out. But I still managed to do it because Jack Progresso, he's like a workhorse artist. He'll do like an EP in like a day. You know, he's that type of
Man.
dude. You know. And so I produced an EP for Jack Progresso, which still is to this day my most selling EP that I've done. And after
Fantastic.
that, once I worked with Jack, uh, I noticed that he was working with Box Guts, and I was like, wow, who you know this? He's very talented rapper, and I reached out to Box Guts, and he was even back then he was a very humble guy. Like we kicked it off right away. We are like because he wants the same thing as me. He wants the discography, and he wants to evolve with his music, and he's very much into his craft, you know, like
Yeah.
he takes it mad serious, and he's getting better every day, you know, because it's like he's trying things. He's not too comfortable in like the same spot, you know. He's trying things, and
Indeed.
we did a project together, and we just kicked it off. We kicked it well, like talking, you know, and after that we just managed to keep on working because my production is a bit abstract, and his stuff is like, yo, you have to listen to his song maybe like a few times, and you're like, whoa, you know, like what did you just say? You know, like he's like really like he's like mystery man concepts. You know, you really have to like you know, it's hard to describe, but I love that shit. You know, I listen to Box because he's an incredible artist. So we just kicked it off
Yeah.
really well, and then we just kept on working together, and me and him like it's like since we're both very serious with our crafts, like sometimes we would like you know like be like wait a minute, you know, and but we because we're two humans who are very open minded, we would always pull through, you know, and just try to make like the dopest music, you know,
Yeah.
and I got to thank him for his patience too with me because I'm the reference man, you know, like I'm crazy, bro. Like I'm working on a song with somebody, it's like I'm gonna send him like you know 30 references because it's like yo, wait, this sound is whack. Let's take it off. Let's add this. You know, like I'm always, it's like a puzzle for me. It's like a Tetris puzzle. And I'm just trying to, you know, figure
Figure it
out
out. Yeah.
what are the shitty frequencies, what are the good ones, what do we have to, what are we missing? Just to try to make it memorable. And
Yeah.
sometimes you want it to be so memorable that it turns out whack too. You know, it's not. They sometimes you gotta get off that tangent, you know, and you gotta like not listen to it for a while. You know, you just tricks that you learn as you do it. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's the process, man, and I love it, man. That you guys got good chemistry, and it's very apparent to you in your three albums. So, Apocalyptic Hunger, Super, and Beatahoe that you guys did in 2017, and then
Yeah.
I think the latest project is Cremation Diamonds, right, from last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so great work, man. So my favorite song was Fireworks. That beat was super hard, and the beats were the verses were crazy. So
Yeah.
Fireworks, Cremation Diamonds was super dope, man.
Yeah. No,
Um,
thanks a lot, man. He's an incredible artist, man. So shout
Yeah,
outs
I
to
look
Doc.
forward to it. You guys have another album in the works?
Yeah, I got lucky once again, man. Like we were because I haven't made beats in like 2 years, you know. So it's like I'm slowly getting back into it. But I had a lot of old production I had, and
Okay.
I managed because here's the thing for all the people who want to work with Box Guts is that he's pretty picky. He's very picky on his production, you know, like on his beats.
Okay.
Like I've sent this guy sometimes, like I'll send him like maybe like 30 little samples. He'll be like, nah, you know, like he's an honest person,
That's
and
great.
yeah, and
That's the
that's values.
best.
I love that. I love that shit, you know. And it's like, and I for some reason I managed to make. I had like 3 beats that were just sitting on my desktop that he really liked. And it really surprised me because like, and so since it was so small, we only had 3 joints. Like, we thought we kind of brainstormed. We said, how about we get like, because he works with mad people, Box Guts. He has mad people on his team, and then we said, how about we just do it with 3 producers, me, Hobbs, Stay Busy, which is a crazy
Yep.
MC, beatmaker, and engineer out in Winnipeg, and
Yep. That's right. I
yeah,
know him.
and then there was his boy, his dude. What's his name again? The crazy beatmaker. I forget his name, man. Like he just did an album with him, an EP, Charcuterie something. Yokes, yeah. Yokes is a really talented music producer. So it's like I said, how about we just do it like with 3 producers? And he just said, yeah, sure. So that's coming out soon. I think Hobbs is like mixing it right now as we're speaking. You know, so.
Yeah. Hey, what about you? Do you mix and master stuff too?
Man, I'm the worst, bro. Like my comprehension is like below retardedness. Like my special force is like if my energy is up, is that I'll be able. My special force is that I'll be able to like put the headphones on and like listen to something
I
over and
got
over
you.
again. And it's like that's part of the deal. And a lot of people they could not do that. And so even my wife, like one time she saw me and she just put the headphones and she's like, "Are you batshit? You know, are you batshit crazy? How could you do it? You know, that's my force. I'm able to canalize and get out of the, you know, out in my little realm there, and like listen
Yeah.
to it mental and add things, you know, and work on it. And that's my force, you know, is that and it's just over time. It's like you kind of like you drag it, you play it in the whip, and then like, oh wait a minute, I can change this, or you know, it's like you get kind of used to like the process, you know, of trying to make a
Yeah.
song. You know?
Man, okay. All right. Well, with that, man, hey, just you got an amazing catalog too. I enjoyed it. Also, I got to quickly shout out the Cherished Gems track that you have with Bronze Nazareth and Proven. That was another great song that you have in your catalog.
Thanks,
So
man.
shout out to you, man. You mentioned throughout the interview that sometimes you have pockets where you don't do music, but hey, man, in the end, you're still doing music, man. So what motivates you to come back to do music, and how do you find your inspiration?
What motivates me is artists, cause like I'll listen to like an artist, and if it touches me like in a profound way, I'm gonna reach, regardless if it's somebody known or not known or whatever, you know. And
Yeah,
most of the time, people they just don't write back, you know. And
interesting.
sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'll get lucky, you know. Like sometimes I'll talk with somebody, and I just try to get them on the phone, you know, because it's like if they want to have a phone call with me, then they'll have enough energy to do a small project with me. You know, so if they don't want to get on the
Yeah,
phone with me, I figure that they're just too busy and it won't work. You know, and that's how I know it sounds a little weird, but that's just how I see it now. It's like if you don't have
no,
5 minutes
you're
for me to talk with me on the phone and to see if we got something, then it means that we're not meant to work together because you're too busy or I'm too busy. And I understand that. Everybody has kids, everybody works, you know. So like I understand that stuff, you know. And but if somebody sparks me and I talk to them and they're excited, that's what feeds me. That's
yeah,
the energy because it's like you're opening up your energy vault and then you got somebody else's energy combining with
Yeah.
yours. That's really what it does to me, because that's really because I don't like the only thing I like is when we're making it. Like all the rest stuff, like I hate that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I can't bear doing that stuff, you know. But like the making it, that's the shit. That's the stuff I like, because it's like the combining of two entities, right? And
Mm.
that's what I like. Yeah. So that's what sparks
Oh,
me.
man, you hit another great point, man. You people have to make time, and so that to me is a clear message, man. If you make 5 minutes, out of your day, if you set that aside for me just to connect, like, hey, man, that's a strong message, man. I really value time, and time is very important to me. So if someone makes time for me in whatever capacity, man, it's a clear message that, it's a good thing. So yeah, I appreciate that perspective. That was great. All right. So with that, hey, man, looks like you tried everything in hip hop, man. Did you try graffiti at all too, or no?
No, never, man. Like I can't draw, man. I can't draw. I can't rap. I can't dance.
That's me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rhyme, but I don't do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, man, what do you like to do for fun when not making music?
What? That's a good question, man. Like I like to. I don't actually enjoy working out, because it's like I enjoy like the after workout. That's something I enjoy. Like let's say I'll do a tiny little run. Like I'm never like I always do. It's all small what I do, you know. But it's like after the run, like I noticed that I like that. I like the post workout
Feeling.
zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something I enjoy. I enjoy too. I like spending time with my lady. You know, like
Okay.
my lady is she's like a interesting human being. You know, so it's like I like being around her. You know, her and the kids. You know,
Yeah.
I like even though sometimes it kind of feels sometimes when you're in that moment with the kids, sometimes like you feel like it's a little too much. You know, but it's like sometimes you realize that, you know, it's like you don't really know anything, right? You're just just putting your best foot forward and trying to, but it's hard
Yeah.
to like really like take advantage of the time you have, because it's so short, right?
Yeah.
So I try to enjoy myself the most I can, even though I have young children, and you know, I'm trying to make the most of it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that sounds good, man. Hey, what is a little known but fun fact about you, man? What is something that a lot of people don't know?
Yo, that's mad funny, man. Something no I don't have any friends. Yeah, I used to have a lot of friends when I was younger, and then they kind of like everyone kind of like splattered all over the place, you know. And now it's like I don't. That's something that I'm lacking in my life, is I don't have any friends. I don't have anyone that's calling me. I'm not calling anybody. I'm really like I'm a loner, isolated guy, and I'm with my wife. I'm with my kids. I talk a lot with my parents, you know, my
Yep.
brothers, sisters. But it's
Okay.
like also, and I'm a very, unfortunately, I'm a paranoid person too. So it's like I kind of like when I see somebody, I see the magic. I see a human, I see the magic, and you know, this guy, this woman, this man is interesting. But then it's like the same thoughts come into place. You know, he might be this, or you know, he
Yeah.
maybe he's gonna try to hustle you, or you know. So it's like I have to work on these deeply ingrained issues that I have. You know what I'm saying. So that's one thing that's surprising, is that as bad as it sounds, that I don't have. I know I have people that I know though. It's like I'll give him a pound, I'm gonna
Yeah.
catch up. You know, I always give them time. I never run away. Like if I see somebody I know, I'm gonna give them the few minutes. You know, just to catch
Yeah.
up. But I'm a very respectful person. It's just that like a relationship for me is very important. I don't want to give it to the wrong people. You know, I don't want to be
Yeah.
used or abused or anything. You know.
Yeah, hey, that's just part of life and being careful. But man, you got some amazing connections through music too, as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey, man, all relationships come in many forms and sizes and shapes, man. So awesome. Well, hey, with that, what is Beatahoe's favorite type of food, man? What do you like to eat?
Yo, man, that's a great question, man. Me and my lady, we're suckers for Indian food, man. We love Indian food.
Really nice, yeah. Oh, my wife loves Indian food. Yeah.
Nice. I don't know what the names of the plates are. Like I never know what it is. I just say like, yeah, like my lady knows. Like just give me that plate. She knows she knows what it's called. I don't know what it's called,
Yeah.
man.
Oh man, that's great, man. And I've been, when I went to Canada, I made it a point to try Canadian cuisine, and we tried the poutine and the beaver tail desserts, and so
Nice,
that,
yeah,
that
that's
was
good.
yeah, that was pretty fun, man. So yeah, food's awesome, man. So Indian food, awesome, man. Another thing that surprised me was I didn't find you to be a pop music kind of guy. So I thought that was a pleasant surprise, man. I like to listen to pop with my kid, and so that was cool, man. I love
Yeah,
that how you love just different types of music.
I think it surprises you because I'm just assuming this, but because when you start making beats, right? Like people, they start with samples because it's a lot easier to like make a vibe with like a sample because it's like
Yeah,
the vibe is already in your song because you just stole magic from somebody else, right? And then you're just
right.
layering and adding drums and whatever. But I think all producers start with that because it's easier to learn because like the production game is like it's a learning process, you know. And I'm still in my humble beginnings because there's still a lot of stuff I don't know. So it's like my sound was like a bit grimier because all my influences was like Alchemist and DJ Mugg. So I was just
Yeah,
kind of like duplicating that like evil sound, you know. But it's like I haven't made like for me, it's like my true awakening is when I'm gonna be is like now with synths. So I'm not using things that have already been done in studios and that, you know. So it's like
yeah.
people think all the time I make grimy beats, but it's just because they heard my first joints and they think
Uh
it's grimy, so
huh.
it's like it makes sense because I kind of my first batch of beats was all like sample stuff from movies and with drums, but it's like I understand why people say that, but it's like that's really boring to produce too because it's like you get like that eerie sample, then
Okay.
you're adding like drums or whatever, but it's like what do I do next? It's like it's so like like limited, as a production, So it's like
Yeah.
I've I've gone like past that, But I understand why you say that, and it makes sense too, Because like when you look at my earlier stuff, it's all that, It's like it's all just a
That's it.
sample with drums and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fascinating, man. Just showing amazing growth too, as well. And so, with that, before we close out this amazing interview, are there any special projects that you want to give us a shout out about, man? Just tell us about it real quick.
Yeah, man. I just did a few months ago. I did a project with Clee Major. He used to be signed on Necro's label with his group mad years ago,
Okay.
Riviera Regime. So I just did me and my father actually did the production
Oh,
for his
fantastic.
for his EP, which we didn't get a lot of burn back from it, but like me personally, I like it a lot.
Okay.
Uh, I did the Cremation Diamonds with Box Guts. I think it was a year ago, and
Yep.
right now I'm waiting after these guys. His name is California Ghost King. We have a few singles, like I think it's like 3 singles, but
Nice.
they're all done. I'm just waiting to say it's just gonna be like like once you hear it, you'll see it's not even like at all like the stuff you heard from me. It's completely different,
Oh, I
and
can't wait, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that, and then we have a little joint with the box too that's gonna come out with the 3 producers, and
Okay.
that's about it, man. Right now I'm working on a project with 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 Loki and Cali Cuts from Britain, and
Okay.
it's gonna be like a satanic kind of like a hard horrorcore kind of thing.
Okay.
And, we're doing it right now as we speak. We're finding the beats for it, so I'm happy about that. And I'm not taking too many projects right now because like with the kids, I
Yep.
can't do it. I just can't do it. So I just do music when I'm working.
That's
So
right.
so it's like my studio is like where I work, so it's horrible. So I work 11 hours, then I go to
Oh,
the gym a bit, and then I do beats. That's how I make. That's where I do my music. So it's like the energy is real low. So I
yeah.
can't take too many projects because it's just me whack. It's like I gotta really focus on like
Yeah.
one small one at a time. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, good, man. And with that, when people are listening to your music, where do you want them going to? Do you want them going to your Bandcamp or Spotify? What's your preference?
Uh, I I don't have a Spotify. I think I have one. I think they made one for me, but I don't have one. Like
Okay.
I never made one. And like I use Bandcamp just to put my discography on it, just to have it there to show artists when I before if they want to work with me or not. So I'd say Bandcamp, and
Okay.
that's it, man. Like every time somebody buys something, I'll send them a message, and it just helps the energy too. When people feed you a bit, it helps you just to get back into it. So
I
thanks to
love it.
everybody who buys like a CD or whatever. Like all my music
Yep.
on Bandcamp is for free. Like I don't even put prices. Like, it's all zero. So it's like it's just people donate. Like people like donate actually to me. You know, just out of like
That's
energy as an energy share.
Yeah, awesome, man. And so again, it was an honor to get to interview you and just go through your catalog and just see the amazing work that you have. You got some projects on the books that are coming up soon, and I look forward to hearing those projects when they come out. Thank you again. Is there anybody you want to shout out before we close this interview?
Yeah, I want to shout out you, man, for all the fabulous content you're putting out, man. I watched every single
Thank
one
you.
of them, man, and I really like it, man. It's a different twist, and it's just fabulous, man. So
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
don't stop, man, because I know sometimes, sometimes you're like, do I keep doing? Just do it because there's people like me who will watch your content, and
Yeah,
if I'm watching it, a lot of other people are watching it too, because I'm a busy guy like you. I have a family, I'm doing things, and it's like I like
yeah,
your content, and I especially like the fact that you're giving a lot of place for people, like me who are not I don't have like a $180,000 180,000 followers on Spotify or something, so. I appreciate the fact that you're giving everybody a chance to speak about their art, without necessarily having huge I don't have like future numbers, and stuff like that, So I appreciate that a lot, man.
well, hey, man, you made an impact in hip hop, and so, like I said, you got an amazing catalog, and so, yep, hey, I love sharing music. I love making music, so I enjoy it. So, thank you. I appreciate that. But with that, hey, thank you again, brother. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I can't wait to share your interview. I appreciate it.
All right, cool. Thanks. Peace, man.